Thank you for joining me, Jag Singh, for another dosage of Positive Minds. Positive Minds is a program which I like to bring on informative and motivational guests who give us tips and advice on how we can improve our lives and those people around us. I'm a writer. I've recently written my book, Unbreakable, which is available on Amazon. Unbreakable is a story about a young Sikh family growing up in a very racist environment in the 70s, and it shows how we prevailed and how we got through to the other side. So now download it and download it after this show, because I've got a great show lined up for you today. And also for my constant motivation, you may follow me on Twitter at JagSingh_I can, and that's on Twitter for constant motivation. Now today I'm going to be speaking about the power of education. Okay, and I can't find no better example than the guy that I've got with me today, Baljinder Singh. Thank you so much for coming on Positive Minds today.
Thank you for having me, Jag.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so Baljinder, tell me about your current role in the West Midlands Police.
So I'm an in-house solicitor at West Midlands Police. My background is in commercial property. I trained at an international law firm called Trowers and Hamlins and qualified into a global law firm called DLA Piper. My current role at West Midlands Police is in property and contracts. And when we talk about property, I talk about commercial property, and that means leases, licenses, and anything to do with SDLT or the land registry. And then the contractual part of that is any sort of commercial contract with a specific value. So we're talking about policing matters with football clubs. We're talking about the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, which is happening in 2022. We're talking about City of Culture and a whole host of other stuff.
Excellent, excellent. And that sounds like a big responsibility. I mean, to get where you are today, educational-wise, what did you have to do educational-wise to get to this amazing position you are today?
Yeah, sure. So I guess starting from school is very much about getting good GCSEs, getting good A-levels to get into university. And some universities have a specific test for the legal aptitude. That's called the LNAT. Not all law schools have that, but at University of Birmingham, they have that. And then once you're in university, you need to obviously work hard to get good grades, good marks, and of course get a degree at university. And then during that period at university, you can apply for a whole host of different things, different schemes, different paid work experiences. For me, and I think for the fastest route to become a solicitor, the goal after university is getting that training contract, which is a 2-year period of time at a law firm where they pay you and they train you. So it goes GCSEs, A-levels, degree for 3 years, then law school, which is the LPC, and then your training contract, which is 2 years.
Excellent, superb. Now that sounds like a mountain, right? What you said there sounds like a mountain, and you've climbed a mountain, you got to the top. I mean, did you ever, like all this education you've done, right? Did you ever feel like giving up? Like, like I've had enough, I can't do this. And because it couldn't have been easy. Did you ever feel like giving up?
No, of course, there were many times where, I wanted to give up, and it happens, I think, at all stages, whether it's school, uni, or even as a young professional. When you're at school, you've got, so many different distractions going on. Obviously, you're not mature enough to know what the end goal is. So there were many times when I was at school, when I was playing sport, thinking, I don't want to study. I just want to have a great time playing sport, being with my friends and things like that. And then again, at university, you're more mature, you're an adult. There are more distractions out there as well. And again, you say to yourself, I don't want to be reading all these books. I want to be out there having, the time of my life. And again, as a young professional as well, because your responsibility is a whole nother level. You're responsible for yourself and others and clients now. So there are many times I wanted to give up, but I think it's those times you kind of realize how important your network is, your family, your friends, your teachers, your coaches. So yeah, it's very important to have a very good network. And also you need to remember how fortunate you are, because as much as these periods of time are difficult, you are very privileged to have those opportunities, to have that education. So yes, there were many times I wanted to give up.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, also, while you were studying, you wasn't only just studying. I understand you had some part-time jobs as well on the side. Tell me more about them, please.
Yeah, sure. So I had several different part-time jobs during my time, but some of the main ones working in a local phone shop. So not your big well-known ones, but like it was a local phone shop. Working in the Birmingham Outdoor Market, even in
Hey, market boy, just
as
like me. I
well.
was a market boy, man.
So yeah, there was all these different things, but at the time it kind of felt like a struggle. It kind of felt like things that are going dead end. But looking back at it now, those are the type of things that kind of taught me about how to interact with people, communication, how money's actually earned as well. Because when you're a student, you don't really have the time to get a full-time job. It's whatever's out there. So there were part-time jobs. They're really useful in developing you as a person. And it kind of shows you that if you don't make the most of your opportunities, then you won't be in the best possible position that you can be.
Superb, superb. And that message is amazing. And to do what you've done, you must have had some support as well. What kind of support did you get, Bal?
Now, of course, so friends, family, always having good people around me that always encouraged me and motivated me. And I think um, when you have people that care, and you know that people put that time and effort into you, there's no better way to reciprocate that by being the best version of you. So having those good people around you, having that sangat around you, and of course your faith as well. I'll be honest, I didn't really probably get into Sikhi until I got into university and the Sikh society and stuff, but I learned the importance of good sangat, kirtan, meditation, and things like that. And I think as you develop and grow as an adult, these things become more and more important to you.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100 spot on, Bal, spot on, because kirtan, meditation. I mean, we're all running about in life, we're picking, we're doing the cooking, we're doing the cleaning, we're doing this, we're doing our jobs, whatever we're doing. Sometimes I think we've forgotten an ancient rule, which is that we sometimes need to take a step back, and we do need to do the meditation, and we do need to do the kirtan, we need to have to spend that time of, relaxing and having time. Like we were just talking about this before the show, it's, you have to have some me time. And that me time can be spiritual, or it can be just, just chilling out with your family and your friends. Going back to your parents, let's talk about your parents. Well, how were your parents on this amazing journey that you had with your education? What was their reaction? Were they there for you, Bal?
Yeah, my mum always supported me. She always wanted me to be the
Sorry, Bal,
best
can I have
version
their
of
names,
me.
please?
Yeah, Kashmir, my mum, and she raised me to the person I am today. She made sure that I was had every opportunity available to me, and she pushed me hard and she motivated me always. So she was always there. She wanted me to be the best version of me.
Excellent, excellent, Bal. Superb, superb. So thank you very much, Auntie Kashmir. You've done a great job there. Excellent. So, Bal, some kids very soon going to be sitting their options in school. Um, what advice can you give to children who might be thinking of taking law as an option?
Yeah, sure. I'd say firstly, a legal career is very rewarding. It's very broad as well. When I was growing up, when I was a child and student, I only really saw law as like employment or immigration, but there's just so much stuff out there. So utilize the internet, research, see what other legal roles are out there, especially when you're qualified as well. There is so much else to do there, and don't be put off by career where you don't really know many people or your family hasn't really done it before. If you're passionate about something and you want to do it, then definitely get involved and crack on.
Superb, excellent, excellent. Bal, this picture we're looking at right now is on BBC Question Time. I understand the BBC invited you over. Please tell me a bit more about that, Bal.
That's right, yeah. I was recently invited to the Big Questions by the BBC, and that conversation was all about is Britain facing and dealing with racism correctly, and I kind of addressed that from my viewpoint as a legal professional in the legal sector. Um, and like I think many people don't realise that racism and discrimination does exist, especially in the working professional world. Um, and the legal sector does have issues like a gender pay gap and an ethnicity pay gap, and I was talking about that there.
Excellent, excellent, superb, superb. Yeah, because racism is a very strong topic for me as well. That's why I've released the book Unbreakable, because what happened to me, Bao, happened in the 70s, you know, and it's 2021 now. We all need to move on, and it's a shame that the conversation is still happening. Obviously because of the mindset of certain people, but yeah, you bringing your views on the BBC, excellent, superb, and that's what's needed. We need more people to come forward and share their views. And you spoke from a legal point of view regarding racism, and it shows that it's in every field. It's all around us, and we need to reduce it. We need to do something about it, and we need to stop it. Another thing I want to ask you about is, okay, that's children taken care of the legal side of that. What about adults? Say someone, for example, who's watching this program right now is thinking, I want to go into law. I want to do what this guy's doing, but, I'm a little bit old, I've passed it kind of thing, I can't. I mean, what advice would you give the adults who would like to pursue a career in law?
No, sure. For adults, I'd say very similar. Work hard and remain positive. I'd say even for adults, I'd say you're more mature and you can probably make a more informed decision. So use your experience and age as a positive. Of course, any legal role or professional background will take time and effort. But if you're passionate about something and that's what you want to do, there's no reason why you can't do it, regardless of your age.
Excellent, superb, because of the childhood I had and the school I was in and surrounded by the racist people I didn't get much of a chance to educate because I was too busy trying to run away from the bullies during my time. But Bao, you are 100% right, because I never thought I could write a book. Yeah, I thought, well, am I going to write a book? I'm not educated. I haven't done this and effort. But you know what? I started writing a book almost 17 years ago, and I studied. I learned verbs, nouns, blah, 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 how to write sentence, how to do this. So that's great advice, Val, because you can start from the top. You can work your way up from the bottom and then work your way up to the top slowly. It may take time, but isn't that where everybody's determination gets tested?
No, of course, yeah. Any journey is worth it because you go through the struggles. And yeah, what is life without? If you don't have that hard journey, then the end goal is almost not worth it. So yeah.
Excellent, superb. Val, through this journey that you've had, and now obviously working with West Midlands Police, which is an excellent role to do. It's superb. But during this journey that you've gone through, what has been your motivating factor? What has motivated you all the way along? Because obviously, like we said before, sometimes you feel like giving up, you fall and you get up again, and you fall and you get up again, which I'm sure you've done many times, and I'm sure you're throwing a few books around the room when no one's watching, but you've got there. So what has been your main motivating factor to where you are today? What's kept you going?
I think there's been several motivational factors. I think one is people. So knowing that I've had good family, good friends, good teachers, role models around me. And I said before, when people have put in that time and effort in you, you want to give that back and you want to be the best version of you. So people's one of them. And I think two is something that I've always kind of had inside me. And I've had to think about this before. And I think coming from a background in sport, I used to play a lot of rugby growing up. I used to play county level for Birmingham. And I think that sporting competitive edge inside me always wants me to be the best as well. And again, that links to the people, that links to the teammates I had that were always there for me, for my coaches that put in the time as well. So people and something inside me as well. But I'd say recently and more as an adult, I think seeing the next generation come up as well, it gives me a lot of motivation to know that if I've spoken to, a law student and they're coming up and they, become qualified, I love to see that. And I think most young adults will go through this, and I think that when you have young family members as well, for example, I've got a very young niece and two nephews, and I know that just some simple things like they will copy me if I'm eating, they'll copy me if I'm on the phone, and I know that they'll copy me when they grow up as well. So that motivates me, that makes me want to be better, and seeing that you have a positive impact in other people's lives, and it doesn't necessarily need to be family, it could be neighbours, it could be local community, people in the Gurdwara, whatever. So that's a beautiful thing, and that motivates me as an adult now as well.
Superb, superb, excellent, excellent. Because I mean, I regularly work out 3, 4 times a week, and my boy's 17 now, and you're 100% right. Sometimes it's great to live by example, because when I see him walking around the house and he's doing his little workouts and everything, because he watches me, he's watching me doing it for years, and it's nice to see that how positivity can rub off like it has with your nephew and your niece. That's excellent stuff, and you're the best mentor they can have with education, and especially being that close to them, you can help them on that journey. And when they come home, like I said before, and they're having a bad day and they're not understanding something, you can say to them, well, I've been down that road a few times. You just got to take your time, go through it again. And talking about helping people, now, another thing I like about you, Bal, is that you've not only gone out there and done it yourself, right? You're not only just gone out there and educated in a position, a great position, but you don't just do your 9 to 5 mundane job. You also support people. You also do mentoring schemes. I mean, tell me more about that, Bal.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm the chair of an organisation called the Birmingham Solicitors Group, and that is a platform for junior legal professionals in the Birmingham West Midlands region. So we do a number of events and initiatives to help connect junior legal professionals in that region. And then in terms of mentoring specifically, I've been through a number of different mentoring schemes actually. So at university, at degree level, there was a BME mentoring scheme. So basically connected people throughout the university and kind of created a little network. Because people don't realise this, but university can be a very isolating place, especially if it's a big university. There's thousands of students, there's thousands of things going on, and you can kind of get lost in the crowd. So that was really nice, especially for international students as well, who are not accustomed to UK and British culture. So that was really great. As a trainee solicitor, I was involved with the BPP University, which is a legal practice course. I was helping students there in terms of them thinking about their next stages and applications. And then most recently, I'm going to be involved in 2021 with the University of Birmingham and the University of Law in helping law students.
Excellent, superb, superb. Now, Bal, if you wanted to, right, you could say to yourself, I've done my bit, I've done my education, I've got a job, I'm okay now. But you haven't stopped there. What you've just explained there is amazing, and it's helping out people who sit back and say, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure what direction you go to. You can say to them, because I've walked down this road, I can give you the best advice. And what makes you do that? What makes you want to help others?
I guess just knowing that I was in that position myself and there was people that were there for me. So I guess there's an element of that, seeing myself in other people. And I think if people kind of saw themselves in everyone else, then the world would be a lot better place. So I guess partly me seeing myself in other people and just wanting to make a positive change. Success means nothing if you're not helping other people.
Amazing. I like that. Success doesn't mean nothing if you're not helping other people. I love that, Bal. Superb words. Excellent, excellent. Bal, if anyone out there wants to speak to you, they're on a crossroads and they're studying law or want to start studying law, or they're struggling, or can they get in contact with you, Bal? Can anyone get in contact with you?
Yeah, sure. My professional social media platforms are LinkedIn and Twitter. Baljinder Singh Atwal or the Bal Atwal. So please do contact me on there. A lot of people have in the past and still do. So I welcome anyone who wants to enter the legal profession from any background. It doesn't have to be a Sikh background. I enjoy helping people, and people have helped me on the way up. So there's no reason why I wouldn't help people. So yes, contact me, people.
Excellent, superb, superb. Thanks for that, Bal. But I also understand that you're part of an organisation, a great organisation called the City Sikhs. Please tell me more.
Yeah, that's right. So City Sikhs is a registered charity. They are London-based and predominantly London-orientated, but it's an organisation that does a number of things. Obviously, raising money for charity, a lot of interfaith work, networking, and I guess the networking piece is where I come involved from a legal professional background, and I'm trying to grow that organisation in the Midlands region. We've got an event coming up in March, in fact, so check the City Sikhs platforms for that. And that organisation is about networking, it's about bringing people together, it's about interfaith, and I guess it's bridging the gap between people who think that there's a divide between working professionals and religious people, and we've always thought, both are intertwined, and we kind of want to promote that.
Excellent, superb, superb. I mean, Bar, that's some great stuff you're doing out there, man. Just keep going, keep moving forward, man. You're doing some great, amazing stuff out there. Um, Bar, yeah, I'd like to ask you, right? You've done all this, right? You got to the West Midlands Police. You got this great position of responsibility. Um, if you don't mind me asking, what are your future plans? Because I believe that you're the type of person that once you get to the top of the mountain, you want to find a bigger mountain. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. I guess my future plans are, one, to become technically an expert in my area of law. So that's, a commercial property land law. And also I delve in other areas of law, so commercial law as well. So from a pure technical legal perspective, I want to become an expert in my field. So that's one. And I guess two, outside of that, is raise the profile of these organisations I'm part of. I want to make the Birmingham Solicitors Group the most well-known networking group in the Midlands region. Similarly for City Sikhs as well. And I guess more than anything, my future plans are just to be the best version of me. I don't know what that is or what that looks like, but I know I'm sharpening my tools every day and getting better. And yeah, so my future plans are to get better and to work in these very specific areas.
I mean, you with the position you're at the moment, and you're heading full speed ahead towards your goals, and and as I said before, people out there always need a bit of hope, or one they need a role model that says to them, that I've done it. It wasn't easy. We're not gonna beat around the bush here. Yeah, it wasn't easy, was it, Bal? But I've done it. And and um, you have to be strong. I mean, I realised when I was writing my book sometimes, oh my God, it's like when you were studying, like you feel like I feel like throwing that laptop across the room, and you must have felt like throwing three books. But that moment, when that happens, it's make or break, isn't it, Bal? You either say to yourself, oh, I'm not going to do this now, I'm not, or you go away, you chill out, you have a bit of a breather, and then you come back. I mean, that's many people, unfortunately, in this planet, just give up and never ever go back. I mean, don't you think so?
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's those break points that can really make a person. But I'll say to people out there, I was, that student that was worried about exams, anxious about going to school and making the best version of me. But we've all been there. Remember the times, applying for jobs, getting rejections, feeling terribly. But it's part of the process, and it needs to happen. You need to have those hard days. But it's, well, like I always say, it's always the hard days that make you, not the good days, because everyone can relish and enjoy the good days, but it's the hard days that really make you.
I love that. I love that. It's the hard days that make you. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because when everything's going fine in everyone's life, and everything's hunky dory. I mean, everyone can deal with that. That's like it's not a problem. It's when you come across a hurdle and you think to yourself, like, for example, someone who's got a maths exam coming up, or whatever exam they've got coming up, and they can't get this equation in their head. They're struggling at that, and at that point, that's a hard time now, and they've got to find a way to get through it. But sometimes, as human beings, we do, with yourself, with your achievements and everything. I mean, you have imposed quite a lot of pressure on yourself. Now that, to take on that sort of pressure, we work with the City Sikhs, the mentoring you do, the West Midlands Police. I mean, that's all tough. That's all tough. It's not easy. It's not easy doing it. But do you find that as you've been doing it, you've become kind of like a master? It gets easier and easier along the way.
No, of course. I think anything that you do over a period of time, you get better at and you become more versed in it. I remember my first day playing rugby. I didn't even know what rugby was, but it's one of those things that take time. Like with anything, whether it's music, whether it's sport, you got to put the hours in. You got to understand it. You got to learn from it. And yeah, so there are hard times and there are difficult times where you question yourself, but the more often you put yourself in those uncomfortable positions, the more comfortable you'll.
Excellent. And that applies to every craft. I mean, I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger who said that, if you really want to be good at your craft, you have to put hours and hours and hours of work into it. And if you're not prepared to put that time into it. You know, those hours and hours. I mean, only you know how many hours you have put to get to the position you are, and you're smiling, I can tell, and that is a lot of hours, you know. And sometimes it can be mind-boggling, you know, it can be really mind-boggling. But the thing is, you wake up again, and the next morning you wake up and you crack on, and you keep doing it. You keep waking up and you crack on, because we're in this life that we've got here is a gift. I think it's a gift, you know. And whatever your background is, whatever struggles people have been, what people go through, there is, you said earlier on, there's a lot of support out there for people. And I think there's more support now than it ever has been. I mean, I don't remember an organisation in the 70s and 80s called the City Sikhs, you know. I mean, this stuff's great, you know, and it's saying, you know, we are experts in this field, right? And if anybody needs any help, come and talk to us. Yeah, and it's, you know, it's advice that wasn't there before. And I think you guys are the pioneers of this, and hopefully City Six will grow. There'll be more organisations. You'll be reaching out to people more. Again, going back to the adult that's thinking, watching this program, thinking, "Oh, Manny, I can't do it no more." You know, I would love to do what these guys do, and I love to educate. You know, but adult education within the Sikh community, I think it needs to be advertised a bit more. Bal, what do you think?
No, definitely. I think there is always a stigma about, old age when it comes to everything, not just education. But like I said, if you're passionate about something, just go for it. Just say yes. You know how good you are at something, and if you know you can put those hours in, if you know you're passionate about something, then it's never really something too difficult, is it? So I'd say go for it. Don't let your age go against you, and just stay positive and work hard.
I mean, I was speaking to my boy earlier on, and he said to me, "Dad, I want to do a certain method, a certain, I want to build a certain my biceps, blah blah blah," and I gave him a few hints of that. But I said to him, "Do you know, in the 70s and 80s, when I was growing up, and I wanted to know how to do certain workouts and everything, I had to get a bus, take a 30-minute ride, get to the library, go up the library, go to the section, and even then the books are mostly out of date in the library, and I had to sit there for hours and hours and find out how I can do certain weight training techniques, blah blah." And I told my boy, you guys have got something today which we didn't have, and that's the internet. Right? I mean, my dad had a stroke, and he can't speak and he can't hear. And I remember before he actually had the stroke, I said to him, I said, "Dad, WhatsApp signal, learn how to use WhatsApp." And he was like, "Oh no, I can't learn. I'm too old. I won't be able to do the buttons and everything." And you know what, Bal? My boy and his grandchildren taught him. They taught him how to do it. And now, with coronavirus, the lockdown, and everything, I mean, he's constantly on the internet. He's seen the Dabbi in Punjab cooking pakore, how they do it. He's looking at how on history of the Taj Mahal, and he's constantly on it. And I think to myself, if he hadn't learnt to do that, he would be sitting there right now looking at the walls. You can't hear, you can't speak. So yes, you're right. I mean, if anyone out there, good soldiers up there, that they can't do this and it's too hard to be on them, how about just giving it a try?
Yep.
People should get up there and give it a go. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to begin with. I mean, wasn't it hard for you to begin with? I mean, when you was doing your degree, you must have had some tough times, Bal.
No, of course, yeah. You'll always face those tough times. Like I said, anything that is difficult to get is worth it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, Bal, so listen, I like to wish you, right, all the best in what you do. Okay, you're
Thank you.
doing a great job. And I'd like to thank you for coming on the show today, yeah, and sharing this great advice. And the children out there doing the options soon, the advice you're giving them is amazing, and the adult education as well. So, Bal, I'd like to salute you and thank you so much for the great work you're doing. And I'll tell you what I'll do, Bal. I want you to come on again and give me an update, because you're a great hope. You provide hope. You're a great example as a human being. And you know what? I wish you all the best.
And thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, so there you go. Today with me, I've had Baljinder Singh. He's speaking to me about amazing work he's doing in law, education. Right, this program has been about the power of education. Education is so important. Okay, and we all can learn something. We're on this planet. It's a gift that God's given us. We're on this planet, and what we make of it is up to us. Okay, and Bao was a perfect example that he not only has he made something of his life, he's going to go to the next. He found a mountain, now he's going to go to the next mountain, and he's going to keep going to the next mountain, and with the mentoring schemes and helping everyone out. That's just an additional thing he's doing, because although he's mentioned the word end game a few times on this program, I don't think there is no stopping this guy. I don't think there's no end game. I think he's just going to keep on going and going. And guys, Positive Minds is out here to send you these messages. Okay, so please, get up, stand up, and keep moving forward. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Thank you for joining me, Jag Singh, for another dosage of Positive Minds. And please keep smiling and keep safe. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.